Hi guys and welcome to Car Focused. A slightly different episode today because I'm actually with a different manufacturer. I'm at Huntingdon Audi. You see the Audi badge up there. In Huntingdon, which is one of my local towns. I've spoken to the guys there and they've agreed for me to take an Audi S3 out for the day to review. It'd be really interesting to compare that against my Focus RS. I've heard a lot of people talk about Audis and how good they are, so I thought it's time to see what the hype really is all about. So it'd be a bit of a kind of sort of a dealership experience as well, just seeing what the overall sort of reception is like and then what the car is like itself. So we'll flip the camera around, we'll head inside and we'll pick the car up. So we've got all the cars out here on the forecourt, some nice cars actually. You've got RS4s over there, TTRS. But this one here, a nice Audi R8 V10 Plus. Very nice indeed. I mean, obviously the dream would be to review that, but one step at a time. So here's a showroom. Another nice TTRS. You alright? This is, yeah, Elijah?
Yes, nice to meet you. How you doing?
You too, mate. Yeah, fine, thank you. Yeah, here to pick up the S3.
Of course, if you want to come over and do you want a drink or anything?
Coffee would be great. Thank you. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Oh, look at that. It's even got the Audi badge on top.
Yeah, we've got a few different designs you can put on. The Audi logo and the RS logo.
Nice.
It's new, all of our cars in it. So this is the Audi S3 Saloon.
Yep.
It's nano grey. We've got 19-inch alloys on it. This particular model has got upgraded, so it's got red brake calipers.
Okay.
So other than that, it's fairly standard car, so what you expect from an S3 Saloon.
Very nice, very nice.
So your screen will automatically pop up.
Okay.
So if you do want to pop that down, you can press that button there.
Yep.
That will make it disappear. Same again, and pop it up.
Oh, nice.
So in your middle, you've got your basic controls. So all this basically controls everything from the screen.
Okay, let's turn this engine off, shall I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, if you press menu,
Yep.
that'll go back to the main menu. So
Okay.
Main one you're probably going to use is within the car. In Audi, they offer drive select.
Okay.
So essentially what it is it's different driving modes that what we'll do is alter the throttle response.
Yep.
So essentially when you're in efficiency mode,
Yep.
it's going to limit how much throttle response there is. So it'll be a bit more of an efficient way of driving.
So just a tone down.
Yeah,
sort of.
essentially. So then comfort sort of one up from that. So it's more leisurely everyday driving.
Yep.
Auto, what it does, it will switch between dynamic and comfort. So if you're giving it a bit more power, it's going to
Yep.
feel a bit more powerful when you're sort of on the motorway.
Okay.
It'll keep it in comfort, keep sort of the revs down. And dynamic is your sports mode.
Okay,
So,
which is the fun one.
Yeah, so basically what most people use in the S product is the dynamic. So
Yep.
you also feel when you put it in there, it makes steering a lot heavier.
Yeah.
So it's more of a sporty feel.
Okay.
What you can do is also switch it into individual mode.
Okay.
So this is essentially within drive select, this is what everything is altered.
Yeah.
So when you're in comfort, obviously all of these will be in comfort. So you can essentially alter how the car responds to how you want it. So they're essentially all your main controls.
Yeah.
So for altering the car. You've then got all your other bits if you want to adjust your sound. So because this is a black edition,
Yeah.
you've got Bang & Olufsen sound system.
Nice.
So you've got speakers in the front and the rear, and there's also a subwoofer in the back.
Okay.
So you can alter how the sound is. So you've got your basic navigation. You can switch this into a satellite mode as well, so like Google Earth.
Okay.
So if you prefer that view, you can
Yeah.
do it. So this particular model, because it's not got a technology pack, you get the Audi Connect system for 3 months. So on here, you've got Audi Connect. So at the minute, everything will work because it's on it. You get a 3-month trial to it.
Yeah.
So what this is basically an infotainment system for the internet.
Okay.
So you get bits like the weather. You can check the news on there.
That's pretty cool.
Fuel prices. It'll give you the fuel prices for this car. So it's where sort of Audi's going with all the the technology bit is integrating with all the Wi-Fi and them kind of bits into the car.
No, it's really nice. First impressions of the car. Yeah, it's lovely. Very refined. Nice amount of tech. It's just sort of all about how it drives now, really.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we'll sort of get it all set up and then we'll get you on the road.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, let's get her out there.
Cool.
Right guys, so here we are inside the Audi S3 Saloon, and you're joined by my old school friend Callum, who happened to used to work for Audi, and he now works for another manufacturer, which we won't mention. Do you want to just quickly introduce yourself, Cal?
Hi guys, my name's Callum Smith. As Gary mentioned, we're old school friends. Gary mentioned to me a little while back about his YouTube channel, and I've been in the motor trade for quite a while now, and I was really excited when Gary asked me to help him source some vehicles. And as he mentioned, I used to work for Audi UK, so I have a good relationship with the Audi network, so hopefully we're going to build a strong relationship with Huntingdon Audi, and
which is where we've
try some cars.
Just picked this one up from Huntingdon Audi, haven't we? So yeah, basically Callum's, he's sort of hooked me up with this opportunity, and as I said, I've never driven an Audi car before. I've always sort of been interested in the RS products and S products. Seeing as I drive a Focus RS myself, it's a competitor. So Callum's got a bit of expertise in the field, and I have no expertise with Audi, so hopefully we can go out for a drive now. I'll talk about how the car drives, and then I'll ask Callum a few questions, if that's all right with you.
Perfect. Yep.
So we've got the drive mode, the sort of selector knob down here, which Elijah was sort of showing me around earlier, and you've got your eco sort of mode, your comfort, dynamic. So at the minute, what are we in at the minute? How do I get?
So we're just in normal drive. So you can change the gearbox individually, separate from the rest of the car. So we can, if you nudge the gearbox, the gear stick down, it'll put us into sport mode.
Okay.
Whereas separately on the dash here, we have what Audi call Drive Select. This will change the characteristics of the car from throttle response, steering input, so the weight of the steering wheel will change.
Yep.
And if you opt for any adjustable suspension systems or sports exhaust systems, it will adjust the way the suspension or the exhaust feels as well. So
okay.
We'll try that later.
Well, I mean, at the minute, as we're driving along, it feels quite nice at the minute. It does feel quite firm, doesn't it? But it's not too bad. The car feels pretty solid. It's smooth and comfortable. It's changing gear, it's not revving up too high. It's obviously in the sort of the kind of more cruising setting. Mm-hmm. So I'll just hit that drive select button there. So if we go up to dynamic, select that.
Yeah.
That's now turned the car into, I've got the S on the cluster there, so that's sport mode effectively now, isn't it?
And you should feel the steering feels a little bit heavier as well.
Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely weighted up. Yeah, it's quite effortless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Under acceleration. I'm not 100% convinced about these auto gearboxes though, to be honest.
Okay.
My wife's got a GTI Performance, the SG, and I switched that straight into manual.
Yep.
I can appreciate that if you do long journeys and stuff like that, it's nice just to be able to just stick it in auto and just cruise along.
Yep.
But I like to have full control over the gear. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I mean, I do for my work. I do a lot of miles. I do about 40,000 miles a year. So these sort of gearboxes for me are fantastic because I can cruise up and down the motorway effortlessly. But on a beautiful day like we have today, and a nice British country back road, you can have a lot of fun. Whether you just keep the car in sport mode or you start to use the pedals, you can really start to enjoy it.
So it's kind of a best of both worlds, isn't it? Like you say, like with my RS, it's obviously a manual. In traffic and stuff, it can be quite hard work. Mm-hmm. But then when you do get it on a track or you get it on a back road, it's it's sensational. I feel like I'm completely honed in with the car with a manual gearbox. Whereas with the paddles, I just feel like you lose that slightly
in that involvement.
But if that's not what you're buying the car for, it's probably a good compromise, isn't it? Yeah. With the paddles.
Yep.
So what we'll do, we're going through a little village now. When we come out the other side, I think if we flip it in full manual mode, in dynamic, and then have a little play and just see exactly what it feels like.
Absolutely.
Right guys, so we switched it up into manual now. I've been driving around for too long in automatic as far as I'm concerned. So let's just see how it actually drives when you sort of push it a little bit more on a nice back road. It's quite quick, isn't it? Those gear changes sound nice as well. You get the sort of pops from the exhaust as you change gear. So you get the bulk of your power from sort of 4,000 revs up to 6. It's quite consistent. Let's see what the low down torque's like. So if I'm in 5th gear, I'm going to 4th gear, 2,500 revs. So a little bit of turbo lag, but then when you get to about 3, I'd imagine you're actually going faster than what you feel.
Yep.
Because it's so smooth. Whereas in my Focus RS, you put your foot down and the boost kicks in, and it's
really kicks in. Yeah, and the Focus is a really raw, you know, engaging, verging on violent experience where you feel the power and you feel the performance, and it complements, you know, when you took the car on a track day, and it really complements that experience really, really well. And the idea with this car is that it's angles more towards the refinement, is the daily sort of refined, comfortable drive, but it's quick where you want it to be.
Now that is quick. We just come off that roundabout then, and there's no let up in power at all. You change gear and it's boom. It's, you know, you're in the next gear and there's just no let up in power. Really surprising actually.
Good.
Because some cars, when you change gear, it just takes a split second just to get moving again, doesn't it? It almost feels like it's just one constant gear.
Yeah.
But it's just making a noise.
And that's the nice thing about this. I mean, we keep talking about this gearbox, so we're bringing it back again. But that's one of the nice things about these gearboxes, is that the gear changes are so quick, and they're so clean, and they give you that impression of constant power delivery.
It's quick.
Yeah.
It is very quick. What are these? What's the horsepower on these standard?
300.
Yeah, and you feel it. It does feel like 300 horsepower.
Yeah.
Surprising. We've got a roundabout coming up now, so let's see what the sort of quattro system, how that sort of hooks up. So if we go into second gear, we'll accelerate off this roundabout. Right, so let's see how it sort of comes off this roundabout under a bit of load. Just faultless, isn't it? There's just no drama. Boom. You're down the road. Well, yeah, I mean, I suppose we could go on about this car for a lot longer. Essentially, you know, it's your S version. There's an RS version, which is obviously the more sort of hyped up, on steroids kind of version. But for an S version, I think this car's really good. It looks good. It looks nice and aggressive, but not too OTT on the outside. So I think what would be really interesting is to try and get in an Audi RS3. Just to compare it to this and to see if it's worth the extra money. One last question. Do we have launch control on this? Do you know how to get into it?
I do.
Shall we do it?
If you like.
I think we should do it. Every video needs a launch control, doesn't it? Every video needs a launch control.
So, car stationary, vehicle in sport, so we can see the car is in sport. We reduce the traction control just by pressing it once, so you get a restricted stability warning. Left foot on the brake, and then hard on the accelerator when you're ready.
Is that it?
Yeah. When you're ready, foot off the brake, and the car will
go. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, blimey. That's quick, isn't it? Miles an hour.
That is it.
There's a slight delay when you come off the brake, so I came off the brake and I was like, is it going to go? And then all of a sudden we're off. Yeah, that is quick. So guys, just back from the drive in the Audi S3, which is behind me here. What's my impressions on Audi now? It's the first Audi I've ever driven. I've heard a lot about them, so I thought I needed to try and test it for myself. Well, I'm actually quite impressed, and I can kind of see, what the hype is about. There's no doubting that the interior is a step up in quality from other brands out there. The car, the way it drives, is kind of a split personality. It can be nice and comfortable, smooth, and then when you want to kind of flip it into manual and really go for it, the car it's rapid, it's really quick. And I was surprised about just how progressive and how smooth the power is. It's not quite as raw as some cars out there, but then again, that's why you have other cars like the RS3, for example. So this car is pretty much a sleeper. I mean, the way it looks, there's not too much really to differentiate it from a normal A3. You've just got subtle styling touches at the front with the grille. You've got the 19-inch alloy wheels. This one has a styling pack with the black mirrors. At the back, you've got the diffuser with the quad exhausts. So if you know about cars, you know what it is. If you don't really know about cars, it kind of just blends in. But I suppose in a way, that's kind of good. So yeah, my overall impressions of the car are really good. So I suppose the burning question is, would I actually buy this car? I think for me personally at the moment, I've got my Focus RS that kind of meets my needs. It's kind of raw, quite aggressive, bit of a one-trick pony really, because it just goes fast very well. But if I was looking to kind of change my car and have a car that was comfortable on long journeys, but also had the speed and a bit more, you know, quality and comfort to it, this would definitely be a consideration. And judging by my experience today, just going into the dealership at Huntingdon Audi, I felt very welcome, everybody was friendly, and just seeing how they hand vehicles over, I can imagine it all to be a really good experience. So yeah, I mean, like I say, at the minute, no, but I could be tempted in the future. So I think it'll be good to maybe try a few more models in the Audi range to see how they compare, possibly something like a TTRS. If you guys could let me know what you want to see, and I'll do my best to try and get one of those cars organised. But for now, from me and the Audi S3, it's goodbye. And until next time, I'll see you soon. I'd just like to apologise because I almost ended this video without doing the thing that you have to do when you're reviewing a car, particularly as we've got a saloon here with a boot. If you don't get in the car, if you don't get in the boot of the car, it's not a proper review. So let's see how much room we got in here. There's plenty of space in here. There's enough room for two of me, which probably equates to, you know, a good shopping spree at Tesco's and maybe a couple of suitcases. So yeah, it's a thumbs up from me.